y Jesús me sacó. Una vez que andaba parrandeando y Jesús vino y me sacó. Toda mi vida era porquería, Jesús vino y me limpió. Toda mi vida era porquería y Jesús vino y me sacó. Decidido seguir a Cristo, nunca más volveré atrás. Decidido seguir a Cristo, nunca más volveré atrás. Pasito para adelante, pasito para adelante. Pasito pa adelante. Look for it in YouTube. Pasito pa adelante. Yes, very good. From my friends in California. David Israel, and Beto Gutiño, and MC Valiente, and Boss. I don't know. Something like that. This is the Bible in 5 years. We're reading the Bible in chronological order. And it's going to take us a while to do all this reading. This project podcast is for people who have never read the Bible. They don't know what the Bible says, or they are not familiar with the Bible, and it's okay. We're not going to judge you here. This project podcast is for you, and there is no strings attached here. You don't have to click on like or subscribe or any of that. Or we're not trying to collect your information or trying to make you go to church or any of that stuff. None of that. So you're good. Check the description below or above. And there's 3 links there, one for Spotify, one for Facebook, and one for YouTube. So you choose which of the platforms is more convenient for you to check these episodes. All right, let's change the music so we can do our reading of today. After this reading, I'm going to switch to do recordings in Spanish. Because time flies by, man, and I gotta have episodes in both languages. Yeah. Okay. Day 443. Tola, Jair become Israel judges. One first, and then the other one second. They're not ruling together. But the first one is Tola, and then Jair. They're going to be rulers of Israel. Judges. In the book of Judges, chapter 10, from verse 1 on. After Abimelech's death, Tola, the son of Puah, and descendant of Dodo, came to rescue Israel. He was from the tribe of Issachar, but lived in the town of Shamir, in the hill country of Ephraim. He was Israel's judge for 23 years. When he died, he was buried in Shamir. After Tola died, a man from Gilead named Jair judged Israel for 22 years. His 30 sons rode around on 30 donkeys, and they owned 30 towns in the land of Gilead, which are still called the towns of Jair. When Jair died, he was buried in Kamon, with K. Kamon, with K. Again, the Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight. They worshiped images of Baal and Ashtoreth, and the gods of Aram, Sidon, Moab, Ammon, and Philistia. Not only this, but they abandoned the Lord and no longer served him at all. So the Lord burned with anger against Israel, and he handed them over to the Philistines and the Ammonites, who began to oppress them that year. For 18 years they oppressed all the Israelites east of the Jordan River in the land of the Amorites, that is in Gilead. The Amorites also crossed to the west side of the Jordan and attacked Judah, Benjamin, and Ephraim. The Israelites were in great distress. Finally, they cried out to the Lord, saying, "We have sinned against you because we have abandoned you as our God and have served the images of Baal." The Lord replied, Did I not rescue you from the Egyptians, the Amorites, the Ammonites, the Philistines, the Sidonians, the Amalekites, and the Maonites? When they oppressed you, you cried out to me, and I rescued you. Yet you have abandoned me and served other gods, so I will not rescue you anymore. Go and cry out to the gods you have chosen. Let them rescue you in your hour of distress. But the Israelites pleaded with the Lord and said, We have sinned. Punish us as you see fit. Only rescue us today from our enemies. Then the Israelites put aside their foreign gods and served the Lord, and he was grieved by their misery. At that time, the armies of Ammon had gathered for war and were camped in Gilead, preparing to attack Israel's army at Mizpah. The leaders of Gilead said to each other, Whoever attacks the Ammonites first will become ruler over all the people of Gilead. All right, we have come to the end of our reading today. It wasn't a long reading, it was a fairly short reading, only 18 verses. So this is the Bible in 5 years. We're reading the Bible in chronological order. It's going to take us a few years to do all this reading because there's a lot of stories, more than 10,000 stories, probably 50,000 stories, could be even 100,000 stories. You never know, but there's a lot of stories. But we're trying to keep them short and sweet as much as possible so we remember what we read. That's right. That's why we're trying to keep them short and sweet. Also, this project podcast is not for Christians. But if you're a Christian, don't go away. Support us however you can. Sharing the episodes or clicking on the like and the subscribe and whatever, so the algorithm gets triggered. But this project podcast is for people who have never read the Bible. They're not familiarized with the Bible. They don't know anything about the Bible, but maybe they're curious about the Bible, what the Bible is about, who wrote the Bible, what the Bible talks about, all kinds of stuff that you hear out there about the Bible. So the only way to find out is to listen what the Bible content is about. So we're putting it out in the form of a story, and if that helps you in any way, come in and listen to him, and you judge by yourself, and form your own opinion. I think I already mentioned the links below or above in the description: Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. So go check them out. If you want to listen to early episodes like day 1, day 10, day 20, 30, 15, 16, whatever, go to YouTube or go to Spotify. That's right. All right, I better go and see you tomorrow. Adios.